Hey girls, welcome back to my channel. I'm doing something a little bit different today. I usually just film my podcast and post it, but I'm getting ready to film my podcast, so I thought I would do a little get ready with me for my podcast. So I got all my products that I use and of course my coffee.
Wake up, it's the first of the month.
So first of all, I just want to thank all 67 subscribers that I have now because that's insane. I can't believe that 67 people want to hear what I have to say. So thank you. I'm really looking forward to growing this channel and hopefully monetizing at some point because I really do enjoy making my little podcast. I'm starting off with the Petal foundation. As you can tell, I love her and I love the nice big mirror that it comes with. It is awesome. So I learned a really cool trick with applying my concealer and not having it crease on TikTok, and I am really excited to show you guys because I never could get my concealer to not crack or crease. And when it comes to concealer, or when it comes to your under eyes, if you do crease easily, then don't put too much product under your eyes. So don't like put foundation there. I just leave it really clear, and of course you want to make sure that your eyes are super hydrated. This is the Hourglass foundation brush. I like it. I never used to use a foundation brush. I used to just use a sponge, but I recently started doing sponges and brushes, and I feel like it does help blend a little better. I don't know why when I talk for like a longer stretch of time I have to burp. If you're new here, I'll just tell you a little bit about myself. I am Clarissa. I am 34, just turned 34 like last week, I think, the 14th. And I decided to start a podcast at the end of December because I've always been told I'm very wise beyond my years since I was a kid. I love sharing wisdom and insights and analyzing people and all that good stuff. So that's part one of that. And the other part of it is that I have gone through some pretty big life changes in the last 3 years. I forgot to put my light on. Just being more true to myself and true to what I believe in and what makes me happy, and really going after my happiness in a big way. So that's just a little synopsis. I talk a lot more about this on my podcast. So next I'm gonna go in with this blush from I GRWM. It's a liquid blush. I started doing my blush before my concealer and I really like it. It gives you that pretty bright pink under eye. So you can be like pretty generous. This is the shade Petal Talk. And then I'm going to go in with this little paw brush, which is also from I GRWM. And another trick that I recently learned is to blend out your makeup with your hand holding the very end of the brush, because it is a little bit less pressure. Like, it's a lighter touch and it just blends out softer, where I was always really aggressive blending out my makeup. So this has been cool, and you can like blend it up under your eyes, and for the most part my makeup always looks good on camera. I am not a heavy makeup girly, so I try to just do things in light layers and use products that give me enough coverage without feeling heavy. That's why I love the Patrick Ta foundation. It's a cream foundation and I just find it to be like really skin-like. I could see my freckles. The concealer will definitely cover more of that, but I just really go in with a really high coverage concealer and not really so much of a high coverage foundation. And I don't even use concealer often, but foundation often, but on camera I need to, especially during the winter months when my skin like will look really light if I don't have some concealer, and you could really see the separation between like all the things. I don't know if I'm making any sense. And I love that blush. I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but it's such a pretty baby pink. Maybe you see it more on the side. Yeah. Why are our faces so crazy, like, uneven? Like, this side of my face is a completely different person. I don't even know her. Like, I don't know who she is. She's not my good side. I don't like her. And look how different she is than this side. Cute, way cuter. This side's way cuter. Also, I've been like religiously doing my gua sha every morning, and I think it's working. Okay, so for the under eyes, actually, let me do my contour first. Contour, I'm gonna go in with the Hourglass foundation stick in Golden Almond. And this is super pigmented, but I do find that it gets lost. Like, it blends out really well and then kind of gets lost once my concealer's on. So I tend to be generous with it. Going in with this e.l.f. dual-ended brush to blend this all out. Also, obviously, skin prep is super important to make sure that your under eyes are nice and hydrated. That's like my big problem area, my under eyes, because they just crease really, really easily. I really want to get that eyelid surgery. I think my dad got it done a few years ago because literally gravity was taking over and like drooping his eye. And I have the same, like, left eye is smaller, and I actually like the shape of it more than the other one, but I can't like make the other one smaller. So I would have to just make them both bigger. And with this sponge too, I love these giant sponges. Mine is filthy and I really need a new one. But I try to be lighter with my touch because I am just heavy-handed. But you see how it really starts to just blend and melt right into the skin and kind of disappear. For the under eyes, what you need to do, and I learned this from Kevi Kodra on TikTok. He is an amazing makeup artist. I think he's like now creative director for Nude Sticks, which is amazing because I'm pretty sure they like found him on TikTok, but he's super talented. And what he says to do is you're going to get your powder puff and get your powder. This is the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. You're going to load up your powder puff, tap off the excess on the back of your hand, and have that ready. You're going to place your concealer, and then you are going to blend out one eye at a time, and you're not going to look down once you get it blended where you want. So you're kind of like, Going in with the Hourglass concealer. This is extremely full coverage, heavy concealer, but it's great for being on camera, and just, you can use very little and it will get you far. So I'm gonna put it here. Like, I won't have to dip this in again. The placement, everything up. And then I use the Hourglass concealer brush to blend out. I don't let my concealer sit for too long, like under the eyes, otherwise it just settles on me. So I just start blending out kind of quickly. By the time I get to my eyes, that will have already been sitting for, oh, the sirens here are insane. By the time I get to my eyes, that will be sitting for, you know, at least 30 seconds, and that's more than enough time. Okay, so powder puff is secured. We're gonna start blending with this first, holding at the very bottom. Oh, let me do my nose. Nose contour is always very, like, honestly weird for me. I don't know why. Okay, I'm gonna start with this eye. And I just really lightly tap it in, and take your time blending this out. I don't even start going really all the way up under my eye until the rest is looking a little bit softer. But the more product you have under your eye, the more it will crease. Now I'm going to start working into that corner. Bring it down the side of the nose. That's looking really good. Then I'm going to go in with my sponge and just make sure it's blended out. Soften up all of the lines. And I can see in my little mirror that now I need to just keep that eye looking up and open as best as I can. Get my puff and go right in and set. That is insane. Like, do you see that? That is flawless. And I do not have a smoothing filter on my camera. Like, that tip was like the greatest tip I ever got, because I do not really crease now. It's just insane. Now we're going to do the same thing for the other eye. Load up your powder puff, tap the excess off, and start blending and have that ready. Just want to have like the lightest touch. That's why holding it at the end and taking your time really is the way. I can't get over it. Look at my under eyes. I look fake. Floored by this technique every time I do it, because I literally have the creasiest under eyes ever. So now I'm just going to take a little bit of powder, tap it off. I'm just going to set my forehead. Does anybody else say forehead or just me? Because I say forehead and my girlfriend thinks it's like so funny, but I love this powder. I was sleeping on this powder for a long time. I have the Huda Beauty pound cake. Oh, and also he says after this you can go in with a foundation powder for an even more flawless under eye, a pressed foundation powder, but I don't have one, and honestly this is pretty flawless. I don't like to look too powdery. I have the Huda Beauty, not pound cake, cherry blossom powder as well, but I don't love it on me, but I need to try it with this technique. And I have the Givenchy Prisme Libre Voila Rose, the pinky one, and I love that powder. So the under eyes are done. Now I'm going to go in with the Laura Mercier translucent powder in medium deep as my bronzer. Got this from Amaya Cologne. She uses this as her bronzer and on her like no foundation makeup, and it's so pretty. It's really warm and golden. Put some on my eyeballs, some on my forehead. I don't like being super like highlighted, so what I do is I take a really big fluffy brush. This one is from Elf, and I take the remainder of my setting powder or my setting powder bronzer that's in the cap, and I put some on this fluffy brush. I tap off the excess and I use that on my neck, and whatever is left I just like to kind of blend these colors together and make it a little bit softer. Just gives the face, like here is bright, but it kind of connects the bronzer a little bit more. I don't know if that's like not something you're supposed to do. I'm not a makeup artist. I did not say this. I have learned everything off of TikTok and YouTube. And honestly, I got pretty good at it, so it works for me. It works for me because I don't like a ton of makeup. So even though this seems like a lot, it's actually not a lot. And it makes me feel pretty. I'm going to go in with Patrick Ta, She's a Doll. And I'm going to go in with the powder side. This is, you see how like the Petal Talk, the cream or the liquid blush is like kind of gone, but it helped give me a bit of like a pink under eye. So we're gonna reinforce with this beautiful pink blush. This is super pigmented, so make sure you are tapping, tapping, tapping. And I'm just going to put that on the apples of my cheek and bring it up. It's like the softest, prettiest blush, but it is very pigmented, so if you don't tap it off, it will be like hot pink, which on me, that's not cute, but on some people it is. A little bit on the nose, chin, and forehead, and into my brow bone. Makeup is so funny because it's just like, you can just like do whatever, you know? Which, that's what I like about it. And then to kind of blend the blush, I take this Revolution blush. This is from like Rite Aid or Duane Reade. It's in the shade Peach Bliss. And this is very, very, very light. Like, you don't need to really tap it off. I take that and I go into my under eye. And even though it is so soft, like, you will see the difference. Like, I don't know if you could tell, but it's just a little bit more blended and a little bit smoother and ties in like the pinky tones. That blush was like $3. But now that my under eyes are set, it's insane because they are like literally not creasing. Next, I'm going to take the She's a Doll by Patrick She's a Doll by Patrick Tal. She's a Doll by Patrick Ta. I'm going to go in with the cream side and my beauty blender. As you can see, I do that often. And just tap that in like that. And I'm just going to put this right on my cheekbone lightly. And it's just going to give me that little bit of a highlight and pigment. See that? I don't know if it's picking up great on camera, but I feel like you could see it in comparison. The powder blush does already have like a sheen to it, but you know how blush is, it just kind of falls off your face. It's like the first thing that you lose. So we put the cream on top to lock it in, as Mr. Ta himself said it should be done, or how he likes to use his product. That is very pretty, and I'm going a little too rough with this beauty blender, about to take all my damn makeup off. Now I'm gonna go in with the Hourglass Soft Focus Setting Spray, and then I'll do my mascara. And I like to even like press this in after very lightly. This is just gonna bring the glow right back into your face after kind of matting it all out. Tartelette Tubing Mascara, just a light coat of this. I like it. It's not my favorite. I love the YSL Lash Clash in brown, but it's honestly so hard to get off, and I really hate rubbing my eyeballs roughly to get off makeup. Just a light little swipe on the bottom. Out for the lippies. I don't know which one I want to do. They are so similar. This is such a girl thing. Like, a guy looking at this would probably be like, what is the difference? But like, I don't know if you can really. There is a difference. But they probably wouldn't be able to tell. I got a new combo recently that I saw on TikTok, story of my life. And I don't think I did it right, but I'm going to try it again. So it's the Stone MAC Lip Liner. And this is really cool toned. So it's just going to like contour the lip and feel a little bit gray until you add some color back in. You see how it's like, it just contoured my lips. My lips already look so much bigger. Isn't that crazy? Like, I barely put anything on. My problem with lip liner is I usually put too much on and then it's like too gray and you like can't, like, it just like grays out the whole lip combo. We're gonna go in with MAC's Honey Love. This is a matte lipstick. a little bit of pink, but see, sometimes I feel like this is too light for me. And then next is the MAC lip gloss or lip glass in Please Me. I think on camera too, it's reading really bright because I have the light on, obviously, but let's see if I turn it off. Yeah, I think it's pretty. I look in this mirror, it's definitely nude, which is what I wanted, but it doesn't look so like harsh as it does on camera. Like I can barely see the lip liner, and on camera I could really see the contour. But I think it's gonna be good. I'm gonna go do my hair and I'll be right back. My hair is done, my makeup is done, and now I'm gonna go film the next episode of my podcast, which I think is episode 14, which is so crazy. So if you love all things pop culture, wellness, personal growth, career changes, friendship breakups, all the things that like us girls go through, especially when you're transitioning from your 20s to your 30s. It's so crazy, all of the things that come to light. Wow, my hair is really big. It's dirty and I just like curled it with a wand and put some texture spray and it's just like huge. My podcast was inspired by drunk girls meeting in the bathroom and falling in love with each other and just giving each other all the best compliments and hyping each other up. And also by the Amanda Show. I loved Amanda Bynes so much growing up. She was like my idol. And on the Amanda Show, she had a segment called The Girls Room. And yeah, I hope that she's okay with all of the recent news about Nickelodeon, which it's clear that she has gone through some things, a lot of things, and nobody heard her when she was speaking up about them, which when are we going to start hearing people when they say that something's fucked up? I digress. Anyway, tune in to my podcast. You can listen to it right here on YouTube. Just please remember to like, share, and subscribe. It does have video, which is really nice. And I'm also over on Spotify with video as well. And you can subscribe, rate, all that there. But please make sure you let me know if you like it. And if you want to send me any topics, questions, problems you want advice to, anything like that, please feel free to send it to tgrpod.nyc@gmail.com. And let me know if you like this style video, because I'll do more get ready with me's and hair and beauty stuff and tutorials outside my podcast on this channel. So thanks for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye, girl gang.